Shalom, Kol Halal, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Rakaha Kodash. Double honors into the apostles, double honors into the elder bishops. Salutations to all my fellow laborers doing this work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedom to do so now more so than ever. The would-be judges of the whole earth, the 144,000. And the scattered elect that are scattered around the four corners of the earth that are among the heathen and look like those heathen, the Israelite foreigners. And to the few Wakwath that are listening and learning, to you I say Shalom. This is your brother Malcolm from the branch of the Great Millstone here in Chicago, coming at you another lesson. I'm going to open with this. This is Ecclesiasticus, or the book of Sirach, 12 and 10. Never trust thy enemy, for like of iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him. And thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust have not altogether been wiped away. Set him not by thee, lest when he have overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place. Neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat. And thou at last remember my words, and be pricked therewith. Who will pity a charmer that is bitten with the serpent, or any such as come nigh a wild beast? So I'm not going to say anything medical. Be careful with my words. I'll let the show do all the talking on that issue. You can see the anytime you reveal them, they try to throw their disclaimer on your video. You can see how the disclaimer is on the bottom of this one. All right, they do that a lot, trying to still keep their foot in there, trying to keep their foot in the door to control the narrative. But the truth of the matter is they've lost the narrative, and it's too much evidence against them, against their fraud, against their lies, and basically, people being guilty of murder. And truthfully, to be said, everyone that was involved with this, every news person that endorsed it, should be fired. And every person that signed off on it, that's within the medical, world, should be fired. Actually, even in prison. Those who enforced it, because what they did, well, we'll let them speak. Like I said, I have to be careful as to what I say. So I'm not going to say anything. I'm not even going to use any medical terminology. All right. Because I've had too many videos deleted and too many strikes for speaking the truth, which is typically what happened. You get Edward Snowden, when you speak the truth, where the criminals get freedom, and the person who points out the crime, gets punished. So without any further ado, Clayton Morris and the interview with the victim, this pilot.
Cover-ups in modern American history is what is happening to our pilots, those pilots who take us safely from point A to point B, our commercial pilots, and our military pilots who protect our country. Because of vaccine mandates, the enormous amount of vaccine injuries is being covered up. It's being hidden. The mandates that were put in place by commercial airlines has been absolutely devastating. We here at Redacted have heard from many, many pilots who've told us that they are the recipient of vaccines and vaccine injuries, which has grounded them and their ability to fly. And joining me now is one of those individuals, Tim McAdams, who flew for Airbus in their helicopter division, flying commercially in their helicopter division, following a vaccine mandate put in place by Airbus, a mandate that he didn't want to comply with in order to take this vaccine, ended up with a vaccine injury that has grounded him for 3 years. Tim is just one of many voices in America, and I believe one of the greatest cover-ups in America right now. Tim joins us now. Tim, great to see you, and thank you for joining us here on Redacted.
Well, thank you, Clint, for having me.
And thank you for your bravery, by the way. I put out a call social media asking for pilots who were brave, who to come forward, who had suffered vaccine injuries, and that's how we were able to connect. Why don't you take me back and give our audience your story here and how this all unfolded for you at Airbus?
So what happened was, I guess it was early 2020. I was traveling back and forth to Europe for work and getting tested, going into the United States, coming out of the United States. And I was a very healthy individual.
Tested for
Yes.
COVID.
And I was a very healthy individual. Probably worked out 5-6 times a week, watched what I ate, did not drink, didn't smoke. And so to me, I was just taking reasonable precautions and didn't want or think I would need the vaccine. It wasn't until Airbus mandated it or get fired, which I found out from a guy, Captain Saliba, I think is who you've interviewed before, that is against the law, specifically 91.11, which prohibits people from interfering with crew members, and then any crew member, including pilots, or intimidating them, which is what Airbus did. And so I reluctantly took the...
Let's pause it there and read a scripture. Isaiah 10:1. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that write grievousness which they have prescribed.
The vaccine because I didn't want to lose my job. And then 3 weeks later, I had 2 very rare cerebellum strokes.
Damn.
I ended up in the hospital for 80 days.
Fuck.
And then I had to go to rehab to learn how to walk, swallow, talk, and so on. And then after, it's funny, because then after I was released from that, I caught COVID for the first time.
God damn.
So I got COVID at home, and it's been a slow recovery. Now, I'll never be able to fly again, but it's been 3 years, and I'm slowly getting some of my functions back. My biggest issue right now is balance.
Is tradition.
Now, it's just pieces of shit. When I watched this video, there was no goddamn commercials. It played almost all the way through.
Traditional
So,
foundation
Salakia for
making
that.
you look worse. Traditional foundations are not great for lines in the face.
It's
Bitch, shut
sticky.
your ass up.
So I can lose my balance if I turn my head too fast, or about once a day, I just get dizzy, and so I'm working on that right now.
So 2 cerebellum strokes that left you paralyzed. You were in bed, unable to walk, and you
Yes,
had to at first.
At first, I wasn't paralyzed because I could still move all my extremities, but I couldn't walk. So I had to go to rehab to learn to walk. First was they got me out of a wheelchair. Then I had to use a walker, and then finally a cane. And then my balance got good enough for me to just walk by myself. So, and that took several months.
What did the doctors tell you? Because when we say vaccine injury, you have these strokes immediately. Well, within 2 weeks of taking this vaccine, you're a healthy person. Seems random, seems out of the blue. What did the doctors and the nurses tell you? Did they confirm that this was as a result of a vaccine?
Yeah, I have my doctor that I've been going to for 20 years has done all my physicals and stuff prior to the injury, is now my doctor who's in charge of my follow-up visits every 3 months. And he has made the determination and has put that in my medical records that this was a side effect of the COVID vaccine.
This is Job 13:4. But ye are forgers of lies. Ye are all physicians of no value. So this guy had to go to his doctor that he had been going to for 20 years to actually get the truth. I'll say nothing else. I will say nothing, neither against nor for the subject matter.
So that, and other doctors have told me that as well, as in addition to RNs and.
So a panel of doctors and registered nurses have all come to the same conclusion about his particular situation. I'm going to jump up to about the 10-minute mark. This is a 22-minute video. So yeah, about the 10-minute mark.
Wait for some case law to come out. And
wait. Here we
We're
go.
mandated to do so.
Right.
A little bit more, huh?
To comply with your wishes. So
that's illegal. So it's illegal what they did.
Yes.
And as we've covered here on the show, there seems to be lawsuits in the works to go after these airlines for this and their illegal activity, enforcing mandates on pilots, because many tens of thousands of pilots took the vaccine because they were mandated to do so.
Right.
Has the legal proceedings begun on your side against Airbus, or have you been contacted in that regard?
I have been contacted by a few attorneys, and they want big retainers up front, which this whole thing has destroyed us financially, so we can't afford that. But then,
damn. So if lawyers are contacting him and lawsuits are in order, that means that they actually have a case against these airlines. And I know that, some of the larger companies where this things came from, they made so many billions that they can afford to pay out millions. Paying out millions in fines will be nothing to them because they've made, hand over hand billions. So
other ones have said, just hold on a little bit and wait for some case law to come out, and then there'll be more attorneys that are willing to take that on a percentage basis. So I am holding my options open, and at this point, I haven't done anything more than that.
This is heavy.
Son of a...
It's warm, loads of pockets. I'm impressed with it. This is the best.
Get your ass off my screen.
It's unbelievable to me. I mean, here you're a healthy human being flying helicopters for Airbus. Suddenly you take the vaccine, you can't walk, you have cerebellum strokes, you have to relearn how to eat food, how to swallow properly. And there are many more out there like you. We've heard from them. So
remember, this was from the resolution, not from the problem. This is 1 Timothy 6:20. O Timothy, keep that which is committed to thy trust, avoiding profane and vain babblings and oppositions of science, falsely so called. So it's evident that that pseudoscience, false science, is being used for gain, to make money at the disregard to the safety of people. That's what it appears to be. I'll say. I will not say that is what they intended to do. I'm not saying that, but that's what it looks like when you're observing the evidences and the results of what actually happened, and then how quiet this subject matter has been the entire time of the presidential debates and things like that. But now some of these people that have been silent, you can expect RFK to, well, a lot of people are afraid right now. They're afraid of RFK bringing up names and people who were involved in this movement and the enforcement of these mandates and the people involved in the making of the stuff. All right. And that could be a problem. They are just as afraid of that as they are of the Epstein Diddy list. All right, that's just what I'm gonna call it. All right, because Epstein was a much bigger fish than Diddy was. All right, but yeah, that Epstein Diddy list, the whole pizza thing, and all the trafficking allegations, all that's going to resurface as well. So you got a lot of people that's afraid of the truth, and it's like we always say, when your whole existence is based on fabrication, lies, cover-ups, fraudulent history, and then when someone brings out actual history, you call it hate and anti-semantics and and theory. You can't make history actual history and then and throw the name theory on the back of it. I just find it amazingly ironic how proud a lot of Caucasian men especially were of their violent domination of the brown people here in Americas, and to the brown people that they brought to the Americas, and to the brown people basically around the world when they took over their lands and colonized it. They were very proud of this history, not just that long ago. But now when you start bringing out the facts, that's how they accumulated their wealth and their power, now they want to label it theory and don't want it taught in their schools. But that shameful spewing. Matter of fact, we'll get that in close. This is Habakkuk 2:16. And it reads, I start at 15. Woe unto him that giveth his neighbor drink, and putteth thy bottle to him. So the philosophies, the pseudoscience, the bad remedies, the GMO foods, the alternative lifestyles, that create all sorts of death. That one particular lifestyle that they push upon men, especially men of color. Most of the men that participate in that lifestyle, a huge number of them die of AIDS, but yet, they're targeting the children of that very same people, the young men, to try and push that lifestyle on them. So it makes you wonder, all right, never trust our enemy. So that's a part of that, giving them that drink, putting that bottle to them, all right? And makest him drunken also, that thou mayest look upon their nakedness. Then they laugh and make fun of them, and enjoy that, because it's amazing to me too how, soft, effeminate men, your Mr. Lemons out there, can get, these very high-paying jobs and positions and, and places on television and TV interviews and movies when you act that way. And masculine manliness, is not welcomed. The deep or powerful manly voice is not welcomed. All right, but you're high pitched with your leg crossed like a woman, and all effeminate. You get all the positions in the job and the pay. All right, let's find that funny. Habakkuk 2:16. Thou art filled with shameful glory. Drink thou also, and let thy foreskin be uncovered. And a cup of Yahweh's right hand shall be turned unto thee, and we can't wait. And shameful spewing shall be upon thy glory. All right, so with that, I'm going to give all praises, all honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rekahak, Wadash, Kwam, Yasharala, Abad, Babal. Jeremiah 16:16 is coming. Ezekiel 25:14 is coming.